TBH, do you think that in My Hero Academia the characters cry too much? If so, do you think it takes away how great the anime could be? Granted, it's already a huge anime, but I feel as it just does a little bit. If not, do you think that the crying is reasonable and gives all the characters personality that does cry?
All right, here we go. Woo! My Hero Academia is the hottest anime out right now. If you're not watching it, and you're not really into anime, I'd suggest checking out the show first of all, just because if you're not, a lot of times people who aren't into anime, usually they're into shonen, meaning Dragon Ball Z or the Dragon Ball franchise period, Dragon Ball Super, Z, Dragon Ball, all that, Naruto, and I feel like the new or what's the shit with Luffy, fucking One Piece, Bleach, those type of animes. If you love those type of animes, like you're very casual with it, you're gonna love My Hero, although I think it's better than probably all of those, to be honest, right now, the current state. But to get to his question, he asked, do you think they would cry too much? And specifically, I already know what he's talking about. He's talking about Deku. He's asking, does Deku cry too much in My Hero Academia? And the answer for me is no, I don't think he cries too much. And here's why. Character development. One thing that My Hero does, and this is why I think it's better than most shonens that's out, although everybody says Hunter x Hunter is probably the best ever, but I haven't gotten around to watching that. So far, this is my favorite shonen. I'll say that. I don't want to say it's the best out. The reason I think he cries too much is because I think they're setting up his character development. And this is why. I feel like a lot of people do not pay attention to the intros and shows or the theme songs and shit, because I mean, it's just an intro. I don't blame you. You just want to skip and get to the episode. But since day one, since the very first episode, Deku has always said that I was a quirkless kid, and this is the story of how I became the greatest hero of all time. Listen to what he said. This is the story of how I became the greatest hero of all time. So basically what he's alluding to, in my opinion, and this is my interpretation, he's saying that this is my story of how my character developed, of how I became the greatest hero. And what that means is, you gotta keep in mind, Deku is what, 14, 15 right now in the show. I think he's 15 in the third season. He was like 14 in the first, maybe. I don't know. He might have been 15 both. The point is, he's an adolescent. He's young. And when you're an adolescent, what comes with that? Immaturity. And when immaturity comes, the main thing that's defined by immaturity is a lack of control for your emotions. You lash out. So yeah, Deku cries a lot because he's a kid. He's not a grown man. And not only is he not a grown man, keep in mind, this is a superhero show. He's going to high school to become the next great superhero. So that's going to affect your emotions as well, because he wants to be a hero. At the start of the show, he doesn't even have any powers. And just being a hero, there's a lot of pressure on your shoulders to be great. And he doesn't know how to cope with all this new shit that he's going through. He's fighting villains and stuff, and he's just a kid. So I think, like I said, what people miss and what they're not understanding is the entire show's point is to show you where he started as a little crybaby bitch. I agree, he is a crybaby in the first season, to what he becomes in the end. In my opinion, if I had to guess, at the end of My Hero, I don't know how many seasons there's going to be. I feel like it's going to be a lot just because the show is fucking popular. I hope it doesn't go too long. I like it short and sweet. I think at the end of My Hero, what we're going to see is he's going to become the next All Might. Of course, his name isn't going to be All Might, but he's going to be the next big superhero that everybody looks up to, everybody loves. Somehow he's going to make rank #1. And it's just, the show's just going to end with him being a big buff ass motherfucker with a lot of hoes on his dick, bro. And in order to appreciate him being a big buff motherfucker with a lot of hoes on his dick, you're going to have to watch his progression. You know, people look at somebody who just blows up overnight and they can see, oh yeah, he's famous, he has a lot of money, he's doing this, that, and the third, and they can see and they can appreciate, oh, that's cool. But what people love, really love, and especially us Americans, is a come up story, someone who got it from the bottom. So I feel like you're gonna appreciate it more when we get towards the end and you see that he's the best hero, because at the end of the day, high key, every episode they give away what's gonna happen at the end. The entire point of the show is to show how Deku became the greatest hero of all time. So I mean, that's the ending. He becomes the greatest hero of all time. What we're watching is, and I think what we're watching is Deku at the beginning, he's speaking maybe as an adult, and he's basically narrating, he's basically sharing stories of his life as a kid. So do I think Deku cries too much? Sure, in season 1, but we already seeing in season 2 and 3 that he's starting to, this is what makes My Hero so great. He's developing as such as a character. I don't want to spoil it too much for people who haven't watched it, but people who have seen season 2 and 3, you know what I'm talking about, bro. In season 2, when Deku pulls up on Stain in that alley, that was like a tide shifting moment where his back was against the wall and he had to fight him. Like that was character development. You saw him, like, he saw him suck up his tears and he's like, yo, I gotta do what I gotta do for my friends. Is it corny that he's saying it's for the power of his friends and all this other shit? Sure. I mean, but that's a shonen anime. Like I said, does he cry too much? Sure, in season 1, but I think you're gonna appreciate it more at the end. So the answer is yes and no. I still think it's a great show, but at the end of the day, I think they're just trying to show his character development, and that's gonna take time. I don't know how many seasons it's gonna be, but I'm enjoying the ride right now. So hopefully that was a good enough answer for you, Carlos. Moving on to the movie section of the podcast. A new Venom trailer dropped this week. I think it's the second or third trailer. That first trailer that came out for Venom was fucking awesome. Hey, thanks for watching my video. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you'll never miss another video. Also, consider pledging my Patreon. It helps keep the lights on. There's a link in the description box below. Peace.